Chola Dhabal is a classic Sindhi breakfast. Today on Spicebox, I'm going to share with you how to make Sindhi style chana, which is served with pav bread or sliced bread. Chola Dhabal roti is basically a golden gravy made with chickpeas, onions, tomatoes and spices and served over white bread. Let's look at the ingredients. To begin with, I have about 3 cups of cooked chanas, which is 1.5 cups of chana that was soaked in warm water overnight. And the next morning, I just pressure cooked it along with some cinnamon, cloves, bay leaf and a little bit of onion. This took about 5 whistles and it was ready. Next, I have half a teaspoon of red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of amchur powder, half a teaspoon of jeera, 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 tablespoon of garam masala, 1 tablespoon of coriander seed powder, 1 teaspoon pepper powder, salt to taste. Now these are the whole spices that I use to cook the chanas in. So I have some cloves, whole peppers, cardamom and bay leaf. Now if you don't have green cardamom or if you have black cardamom, you could use that as well. Next I have 1 tablespoon each of minced ginger and garlic, 1 teaspoon of green chili sliced, about 1 cup of onions finely minced, 2 tablespoons of coriander leaves and 1 cup of minced tomatoes. Let's get started. So I'm going to heat my kadhai first, and next I'm going to be adding about 2 to 3 teaspoons of oil and just let it heat up. If you have the chanas ready, this dish hardly takes more than 5 to 8 minutes. So next I'm going to add the jeera and allow it to sputter. A few green chilies. Minced ginger, minced garlic, onions. We're going to cook the onions until they are translucent and a little brown, which is almost there. I'm going to add a little bit salt to help draw out any excess moisture that the onions might have. And we're going to let this cook for just a minute or two, then we're going to add our tomato puree. The onions are a nice golden brown. This is the perfect hue. Now we're going to add our tomatoes. Just stir it in and we'll add our powders. Here's some pepper powder, garam masala. Now you can use chole ka masala, that will work as well. Coriander powder, bit of turmeric powder, chili powder. Mix it all in. We'll allow this to cook for a minute or two. I'm going to add a little bit of the coriander leaves. I always add while cooking as well so that it adds another dimension of flavor. So we're just going to let this cook until the tomatoes are pulpy. This should happen in about 3 to 4 minutes. Just look at the beautiful red color. The tomatoes are nice and pulpy and we know they're done because you can see there's oil on the sides. When that happens, we know the tomatoes have cooked. So now I'm going to add our cooked chanas. Just look at this. It's going to have an amazing gravy, and when you dip chunks of bread into it, it's going to be absolutely delicious. So now at this point, I'm just going to give this a taste to check if all the seasonings are all right. I think I need some more salt. I'm going to add a little bit of the coriander leaves. Stir everything in, and now I'm going to let this simmer for about 8 to 10 minutes until the gravy thickens. Our chanas have been simmering away for a good 8 to 10 minutes. The longer it simmers, the better the flavors melt and marry. Finally, just before turning it off, we're going to add amchur powder. Turn the flame off and now mix it in. Now traditionally in a Sindhi household they would use anar dana to flavor and give a sour flavor to this dish, but since it's not easily available everywhere, we went ahead and added amchur powder. Now if you can't find amchur powder, you can also add tamarind paste. That gives a wonderful flavor as well. There you go, our chanas are ready. These taste better the next day. So what I do is I always make a double batch and then the kids enjoy it for breakfast the next day as well. So just serve it in your plate or platter, add a little bit of coriander leaves, and here I have pav bread. Serve it along with pav bread or sliced white bread, and what you need to do is just take a slice, add some of the chana and the gravy, put a little bit of the onions, a squeeze of little lime, and you will have a wonderful breakfast, I guarantee you.